Not many people like spiders, whether they be teeny tiny baby spiders just hatched, or a tarantula you found unannounced crawling onto your bed at night, but most either avoid them, or, if they're a gracious soul, help them get back outside. But what happens if the spider is too big for a napkin? What happens if they're bigger than your average house cat or dog? What would you do then? Unfortunately, this is a question a Texan man needed to confront one Saturday morning after he ate breakfast with his grandchildren in late 2006. Joseph Connolly, a recently retired police officer, decided to grab the morning paper and mail so his wife, a registered nurse at their local hospital, didn't need to be bothered when she came home after her long shift. After Joseph made sure his two granddaughters, Sarah Ann and Esther, were comfortably in front of the Connollys' tube TV, he walked outside into the hot Texas sun to make the short trek to the mailbox, snapping up the paper along the way. Joe waved to his neighbor, Bobby Crawford, on the other side of the street, the burly trucker enjoying his rare time off trimming his lawn. But when Bobby didn't wave back, just stared at something behind him, Joe froze. "You okay?" he asked. The other man didn't say anything. "Bob, are you all right?" Bobby raised a shaky hand, pointing back at the Connolly home. A puzzled Joe turned, nearly fainting when he finally saw what made his friend speechless. A massive, long black spider sat on the side of his house. It was bigger than anything Joseph had ever seen in his life, larger than his grandchildren, or any other child he knew. The creature's legs started to move, twitching as it rotated on the web it constructed. Joseph nearly vomited, revulsion overwhelming him. "Bob," he said, voice cracking, "get me your shotgun." When his friend made no attempt to move, Joseph repeated the command, this time more forcefully. Bob Crawford rushed inside, back seconds later with a sawed-off shotgun he handed to Connolly. Trained in the use of firearms from an early age by his father, a Vietnam vet, Joe knew how to kill if he needed to, his police training adding to his already robust knowledge. But even so, nothing prepared him to face this type of situation. He told Bob to stay back and slowly, cautiously, approach the side of his house. The spider's eyes, black and beady, focused on him as he neared, the creature hissing, snake-like. Joe raised the shotgun, blasting the spider dead on, a blue mist exploding into the air. The creature fell to the ground, wounded but still very much alive. It got on its legs, spinning to face Connolly, making an unsettling sound, a mixture of clicking and hissing, charging him. Joe fired again, slugs smashing into the spider's eyes, demolishing them in a spray of blue fluid and bits of hair. It crashed to the concrete driveway, legs twitching. Joe prayed it stayed down. He was out of ammo. Thankfully, the second shot took the spider's life, Joe ordering Bob to call the police department. They needed to see this thing. When the police arrived, they, much like Connolly and Crawford, were dumbfounded at the size of the monstrosity before them. They hauled the corpse away to be studied in a lab, and Joseph did his best to return to normalcy, badly shaken.